Rear Window might be my favorite board game inspired by the Alfred Hitchcock classic movie Rear Window. Let's talk about it.
What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corp?
Oh, hi there, you two. We're back again for other Thoughts from the Corner with my good friend Adam.
Yep.
We're talking about Rear Window. This one is from Funko Games for ages 13 plus. It's from 3 to 5 players. I think they also call themselves Prospero Hall. But in this game, you are going to be one of two roles. You are either going to be the director, who is going to know 8 specific fact here. These are going to be 4 people, and then there's going to be 4 attributes. So this person that lives in apartment number C might be Trey Chic. The person in apartment D might be looking for romance, and then you have 2 here. So this person might be looking for romance with this person. So that's what they're going to have at the beginning. They're going to have this whole area filled out with those. On the other side, there's going to be the people who are the watchers. What they're going to try and do is look at the cards that the director is going to place on the board, because they're going to get a bunch of these cards right here, and they're going to place them onto the 8 spots to try and represent that, you know, this woman and this woman are breaking up. But obviously, this game would be super simple if there was just a picture of that. So they have to try and do some fancy shenanigans like, oh, look, this one has people that are mad, so I think that this is that or the other thing. And this one has this woman, but this woman's down in apartment A, so I don't think it's here. And so the director's going to lay out 8 cards on the board, 2 of which can be face down to say, hey, that's closed, there's no useful information there. And then the other people are going to be trying to figure out what's going on. So they're going to make predictions on all 8 spots of what's going on. And then the director is going to place a black cube on the numbers 1 through 8 to mark how many we got right for day 1. And we say, oh, we got 2 right, and then we go to day 2, and we're going to rinse, wash, repeat, but with the information we had from day 1. And that's pretty much the gist of the game. There's also some special abilities mixed in here. You're going to be able to have these 4 tiles. They're one-time use, where it's like you can double-check an answer, or you can peek behind a window, or you can force someone, you can force the director to give you a little bit more information. There's some cool special abilities. This is our second time playing this. I think we played it now 3 times over 2 nights. Thoughts on it so far?
I really like this one. I think that the play is really fun for both sides of the board there. I like that everybody's working together.
Potentially.
But
That's one thing I didn't mention.
But maybe not.
Yes.
Like, there's a...
the potential for a
yeah,
murderer.
the potential that but the way that it works is they have to get 6 or 7 correct in order for them to win.
So the director
us.
can be the murderer and be trying to mislead us, but they don't want to mislead us too much, or else they lose.
They lose as well.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
So it becomes a delicate balancing act.
I really love the cards because, unlike other games, they're not abstract. So it's actually like a scene that is at an apartment, and there's stuff in it. There's just random stuff in
There's
it.
a cat high on heroin. He's riding a sled of blood.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
You don't get any of that. It's like, oh, there's a bookcase in this one. Oh, there's a typewriter. It's like, look, oh, it's a picture, but it's a picture of a person that might be in that. They might have put it because that person is in the house in that apartment, and it's. I love the discussion. I think that 3 players is what we've played it at, and I think that that's about the right. I don't know that you want another person in there yelling at you.
I don't think I'd mind the 4th person. I think it could make things a bit more confusing, but I don't think I'd dislike it.
Well, actually, maybe we played 4 players last time.
I think we did.
Yeah.
Either way.
I
enjoyed
like
both
that it
times.
was just the 2 of us back and forth because it's constant talking. Like
It
we
is.
continued and
Because you talk as the director is putting out cards, then the director can adjust accordingly based on what you're saying.
but once they put a card down, it's locked in place. They can't move it. So if you immediately latch onto something that they just put down, that's totally wrong.
It's like, there's a plant, there's a plant, there's
They
a plant.
can't be like, well, I'm going to change that. You know, they got to be like, all right, I'm going to move on to the next thing.
So here's my question. I would put this in the same lane kind of as the Dixits, the Mysteriums. You played all 3 of those, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where would you put this one amongst those?
This is my favorite of those 3. I just feel like the gameplay is more consistent, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get it. Like,
Yeah.
if your brain doesn't work the same way it dicks it, mine does not. It's. I mean, it's still enjoyable, but you're going to get your ass kicked every time.
Right.
Whereas this one, the non-abstract
It makes
nature
sense.
of it, yeah,
It makes sense.
and there's a lot more deduction in this than you might see at first glance, because once you get to day 3, you have all the info from day 1 and day 2 and the special abilities. You can go back to day 2 and like, oh, let's look. Like, we looked at the windows on day 2 and it's like, oh, so I think this is it, because maybe there's a person. You flip behind a window and you say, oh, so they very clearly did not want us to think anything about this person, which is super valuable information. And I agree with you. I like those other games to a certain extent, but I like this one much better. I plan on keeping this in my collection. There is a 15-minute Rodney Smith watch and play video, which is fantastic. The organization in here has a real nice insert.
Great box insert.
Top-notch components. I don't have a single complaint about the components that I can think of. Can you?
And I like that it uses the entire box.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a properly sized box for a game.
I mean, I don't really think I could poke too many holes in this, honestly.
Yeah, it's solid.
Rear Window. I think it is a great game that I absolutely can recommend.
Great.
Question I always ask: if I were to hand this to you, would you want it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I want it too. If you want it, be sure to check out, the game, obviously. If you're enjoying the content, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below. I'm trying to reach 17,000 subscribers by the end of 2023 to make 2023 my biggest year ever. And in the comments below, let me know. Add Dixit-esque mechanisms to any game. That's weird.
Wow, that is weird.
Yeah. That's a stupid question.
Goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad this is a dumb one.
Catan? That'd be weird. What resource do we get? I don't know. The fork that looks like a bridge.
We'll go with Uno. Let me know in the comments below. As always, thanks for your time.
You link it based on what you think the card is.
It is. It's a creative discussion game. You get it. This video is brought to you by all of my amazing Patreon supporters, and I would love it if you would join their ranks and have your name immortalized in the end of many of my videos for the end of time. But consider for only $1 a month, and as always, thanks for stopping by.